guys, so it's almost Christmas, and by almost Christmas I mean Christmas is tomorrow, so Merry Christmas. And because it's almost Christmas, that means it is also almost the New Year, which is when I would typically start a new journal. I have been bullet journaling for about 3.5 years now, and I have really enjoyed a lot of it. I've never been very good at like your traditional kind of daily activity / emotional journal, like what's going on in my life and how I feel about it. One, I just haven't been consistent enough with that, and sometimes I'm too embarrassed to write what I'm feeling about it, or I'm not too embarrassed and I write it and then later I'm embarrassed and I want to get rid of it, or I don't really know what I feel about it, or I just don't want to admit what I feel about it, all that kind of stuff. So I've never been very good at that, except for one time I did journal almost every day for like a whole year, because it was probably one of the most difficult years of my life and I was pretty alone. So I did a lot of writing, and I kind of want to burn this journal sometimes because every once in a while I'll flip back through and read it like one day and I'm like, oh man, that was bad. And then I stick it back on the shelf and forget about it. So it's a really good record of like all kinds of stuff, especially because I was able to actually consistently keep records of everything, of what was going on in my life and how I felt about it for basically a whole year. This and another one I ran out of space, but I haven't decided what to do with that yet. Anyway, the point is I've never been very good at that. So when I found bullet journaling, I was really excited because I was like, I can kind of keep track of what's going on in my life, and it's artistic, so that gives me like an excuse to do something artistic but still be practical because I was busy, and just enough artistic stuff to keep me content, enough painting, enough drawing, enough design, stuff like that. And I really liked all the trackers and being able to just keep track of things, especially as a young mom with lots of things I was juggling. So I did that. I have, let's see, I have 4.5-ish bullet journals that I've filled up, mostly. This was my first one. This was my trial one. It's kind of really big and it's paperback, but it was dot grid and fairly inexpensive, and it was just a get my feet wet kind of journal. I wanted to see if I actually like bullet journaling, if I would actually do it, or if it was just some fad or craze that wouldn't really stick. And so I got this off of Amazon and I started doing stuff. I made a key and I have, my little flip out one and my calendar, and I had some tracker pages, and I had books to read and movies to watch, and gardening notes, and I did pages like on my kids, like what words they were saying or new things they learned, and then I had daily pages. So after a little while I realized that one whole page, especially on this giant journal, was just too much for a whole day and whatnot. Some nautical themes. Did a lot more actual drawing. Tried out habit trackers, and then I started putting like 4 on, a spread, and just quotes and sleep trackers and food logs and all that kind of stuff. This I started getting a little bit more realistic with my spacing and whatnot, but this really only lasted me 3 months, but I stuck with it and I really liked it. So the next one I got was one of these two. I honestly don't remember which one it was that I got next. see, that was 2017. This is 2019. Okay, so the black one was first. I got a black one. It's Rhodia. I don't know if you can see that. That's a pretty popular one, and I wanted to try it since I liked it so much. And you know, I had my year there, and I made an index, which I actually used. I haven't been very good at being consistent with the index filling in thing. I made a key, and I had weather icons and books to read. This page I love. This was my brainstorm page, and I would just stick sticky notes in here for whatever projects I was working on. I actually made another one of those in a different place. And this was my shopping list. So I had a shopping cart, and I would just put a sticky note up here with whatever stuff I needed to get at the store. And then I had October, and you know, a week for each one. And then I'd have Sunday notes and patterns and all kinds of things. So, let's see, what else do I have? Needed coffee. It's coffee day. I started doing like, let's see, what else? Habit trackers, mood trackers. I realized that I wasn't really a mood tracker kind of person. And then I had some really nice ones that I really liked. A lot of stuff I copied from other people's ideas. Some of them were my own, some of them were a mix. I had fitness and water tracking page, all kinds of stuff. And I filled up the entire book. All the way back to the end where I had test pages. I had Sharpie pens and fine point, ultra fine point, Sharpie pens, crazy art pencils, Crayola with a brush, Tombow with a brush, super tips, random pens and pencils and things, clickers, and Crayola markers, and zebra mild liners, and Tombow dual point pens. Which I have to say, zebra mild liners are my favorite. They're amazing. So I filled that book up, and I was ready for a new one. And my husband bought me this one, which looked a lot prettier before I started using it. It was like a really pale pink with a gold corner on it. I put this elastic strap because it didn't have one, and that's a feature that I really like. But it's dot grid, and the edges of the pages are gilded, not really, but you know what I mean. And it has pretty on the inside, and I use that one a lot. This one, I made myself a pretty index page, and I never filled it in. I use these tabs, just washi tabs, to keep track of where different kinds of pages were. And I found that that worked well. So like monthly was one thing, or like if I had recipes, I would mark them that way so they were easier to find. I didn't have to read through a list in the index. I could just go, okay, it's one of these. I remember it was in the middle, so it's probably this one, and then go from there. I did my brainstorm page again because I really enjoyed that one. And shopping list, I had a lot of garden stuff in this one, so this was all like crops and harvests and notes and things, which was awesome. And a lot of this was not as pretty as my other one, just because well, really honestly, I was pregnant a lot while I was filling this one out, and my hands would go numb, and I couldn't write or draw for very long without not being able to hold a pen. And so this one was very minimal, just written stuff and maybe some washi tape or like one semi-cute cover page kind of thing, but not a whole lot going on there. And then I had another Rhodia in orange. It looked much more yellow on the internet, but it was orange. It's not my favorite color. But I made another pretty index page and I started using it. And I kept the tabs, again, the washi tabs, for months, and something else. I guess it couldn't have been calendars. I'm not sure what the other one was. And I have fun little trackers and things. And what else do I have in here? Any other good things? There's also a lot of minimal stuff. I was doing like garden plans and then just daily and weekly logs and things, and filled that one up pretty well. And then this past year, I bought this green one, which you've probably seen if you've seen my most recent videos. And my goal was to do it very consistently. And, you know, like have a themed month. Each month have its own theme. And have trackers and keep track of them. So I had my cover page, and I had my calendar page, and I had my schedule, and my year in pixels, and reading the Bible, and cleaning calendar. And then January was all in red for the new year. And then February was all blue and snowflakes. And then March was just simple and green and brown for like little sprouts and things. And then in April, I did lots of flowers. I was in a painting mood. I painted lots of flowers, daffodils and snowdrops and violets and hellebores and crocuses and poppies because I love them, and fritillaria, I can't say that word, and some primroses, and I love that. And then in May I did honey, because I had honeybees on the mind and I was wanting to do some more painting again because April was so fun. So I did honeybees and honeycombs and scripture verses for each month to go with my theme, kind of sort of thing. And I did lots and lots of honeycomb, and it was great. And then in June, it was a little bit simpler, but still pretty. I did lavender, and I did these like Dutch door kind of things where the tracker's up at the top. And then I did the same thing for July, but as you can probably see, I didn't really use it. Like, I filled almost nothing in. You get to the middle of July and there's just nothing at all. I didn't use it at all. And then I didn't do anything until October. And I made one in October and I was like, I am going to get back into this. And so I made one, and it wasn't super amazing, but it was simple and, you know, just as fast as I could without being too crappy. And once again, you get halfway through the month and I really didn't use it. Like one day a week I would remember. Didn't use it. Didn't use it. And I haven't used it since almost the end of the year. And I have been thinking about it. And I don't have it here. It's in the other room. But I had made a school related kind of tracker journal type thing for keeping track of what we were doing for homeschool stuff. And my bullet journal had essentially just turned into a daily to-do list. And I didn't want to keep track of my to-do list anymore. I just wanted to write it on the whiteboard because I have a whiteboard in my dining room and I use it every day. So I just write it on the whiteboard and erase it when it was done. And I would use, you know, the school journal for school stuff. And I just never really got around to this. I do have, I haven't finished yet. I have to write it all in. And that's going to be another video very soon. But all my garden harvest totals for this year, which I'm really excited to add up and see how that went. That'll be another video though. So I had that, but that was about it. I've got a bunch of empty pages here at the back that didn't get used at all. So I had been thinking about it, and I had decided that I probably wasn't going to do a bullet journal this year. I just wasn't going to bother with it. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, I do like having certain kinds of trackers. I like being able to write something if it comes up, or take it to church with me. And if my kids are behaving enough that I actually have time to sit and listen and write, I can take notes. Or, you know, if I have a dream and I want to write it down, I can do that. I like having the journal. And if I have time and I'm feeling creative, I like having that place where I can, you know, do some doodles or a little painting or something like that. So I thought about it, and I have had this little book for like forever. Actually, I think my brother had it before me, and like 1 or 2 pages got filled in, and that was it. And it has no lines, it has no grid, it has no dots, nothing. And I thought, you know what? I'm finally going to use this book. And that's what I'm going to keep it for. Like, I'll have a couple trackers, and just like randomly, whenever I have something, I'll write it in it. And it'll be like a mix between a bullet journal and a regular journal, and just, you know, not consistent every day. No to-do lists, no appointments. You know, I don't have anywhere to go that I don't regularly go. I don't even have doctor's appointments or anything, so it's not a big deal. So that was my plan for this year. And then last week, a wonderful lady who I have known since I was a little girl, who goes to our church, gave me a Christmas present. And my kids had some Christmas presents from church as well, and they couldn't wait till Christmas to open them. So I let them open them, and I figured, well, I might as well open mine too. And she had given me these two. And this one is a bullet journal. And this one is the Book of Psalms for creative journaling. And I was like, really? I just decided not to do bullet journaling. So I was thinking, I'm like, well, it's a gorgeous bullet journal. You know, it's really pretty. It's got that like, what do they call it? Embossed, like where it's, the picture isn't just there. It's kind of pressed in. It says a time for every purpose from Ecclesiastes 3:1. And it's, you know, it's dot grid and everything. And I thought, well, I guess I could save it and use it for next year's school journal. I was like, I don't want to do that. It's too small for a school journal. I need a bigger size for a school journal. And then I thought, you know what? I wonder if anybody has done like a Bible study bullet journal. So I went to YouTube and I looked it up, and I found some really, really useful videos. And I also found somebody who had done it, but with using the technique from Women of the Word, which I have heard really good things about, but I haven't actually read. So I have decided that this is going to be my Bible study bullet journal, and I am going to study the Bible this year. That's a long story in and of itself, but that's my goal. I may share with you some of it at some points, as well as with this one. If I do anything like that I think is cool, or I'm painting or something, I will share it with you, but it won't be regular, you know, and I won't show you everything, I'm sure. And hopefully I'll get to use this as well. So I ordered Women of the Word by Jen Wilkins. It should be in next week, hopefully. And that is my plan for this year. So, yeah. We'll see how that goes. But I thought I would let you know my thoughts on all these things and what my plan is. So, if you enjoyed the bullet journaling, I'm sorry there won't be as much of it as there was last year. There will be some here and there, and I will let you know how the Bible study journaling goes. So, I will see you guys again soon, and I hope you have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year, and bye.